Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. We're live for Barcelona against Newcastle in this double night in the Champions League. A big night in the Premier League, in fact, because how many more English teams will we lose? We lost 2 last night, Man City and Chelsea. Arsenal survived. Looking at the Newcastle fans, they are there. Can they have a famous night? It's not likely. If we're being completely honest, Barcelona will be huge favourites for this. But Newcastle were very close to taking a 1-0 lead into the games. But anyone here play fantasy? I'm riding a triple Barca and need to see goals tonight. It says hello. Don't know what that's all about, but if you can help him in the chat, please do. Lineups there. Barcelona, Garcia, Cabasi, Martin, Cancelo, Bernal, Pedri, Lopez, and then Rafinha, Yamal, and Lewandowski is their starting lineup. Rashford on the bench with Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo. That's how they're lining up. And Newcastle go with Ramsdale, Trippier, Tau, Burn, Hall, Ramsey, Tonali, and Joel Linton, and then Alanga, Gordon, and Barnes. Look, you know what? That Barcelona side is decent, but I don't know. Stylistically, I think they could cause Newcastle a lot of problems. Man for man, I think Newcastle have got a chance. So let's see how it goes. Who are you hoping goes through? It's a tough one. I don't know who I want to go through. For me, this is just one of those games that I just sit back and enjoy, because if Barcelona put on a show, it's a big game. If Newcastle get a result, it's a cracking game. So I'm hoping we're just going to get a good game of football. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. Miles says, I'd like Barcelona to go through so Arsenal don't win it. I don't know whether Barcelona can stop Arsenal. I don't know. This is where we find out, really. They're a good team, Barcelona. They are a good team. And let's see if they can make a statement here. Is this stadium now complete then? Barcelona's new camp, or Camp Nou. Great stadium though. So much history. And it's amazing how big club... It's not finished yet, is it? No. It's not finished. They're building around it. 62k over 105k, says user. Yeah, it's an incredible ground. So much history, and that's what big clubs do. Big clubs retain their grounds. Anfield, Bernabeu, Nou Camp. That's what they do. Yeah, there's still a lot of bloody work to do there, look, God. It's weird. It's weird how they're playing in it as they're still building it. Yeah, it's not quite the same, is it? It's not quite the same. But it'd be nice when it's done. It'd be nice when it's done. How do you feel about United in the Champions League next season? Do you see them getting top 8 and reaching far? Says Mohammed. I think with United, so much of it's going to come down to how much we spend on transfers. Yeah. Players just handshaking here. Has Yamal been let out of Lewis Hall's pocket, says Kurt. Ooh, cheeky. Thanks for the super chat by Mohammed, first of the night. You can do that through the $sign if you want. Double watch along tonight. Liverpool, Galatasaray, maybe Spurs, Atletico Madrid, although I think that's over. I think it's over. I do. I think it's over. Let me find the timer. Ready to go. 44. Trippier and Rafinha. I didn't know Rafinha was the captain of Barcelona. Did not know that. Matthew says, start, bench, sell, air fryer, microwave, or gas hob. I think the gas hob is cracking, really. Microwave is just a quick fix. Air fryers are good. Rafinha is the captain. He's just literally he's got the captain's armband on. Tonight, he's the captain. Ian says, do you want Lewis Hall for sure? Hey, if Newcastle want to do that as a swap deal, let's do it. What's your holiday plans this year, Mark? Says James. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we will be doing the qualifiers. That is starting to look impressive when you look at it from that angle. And I take it there's another tier on top of that. If that's 60,000, it's got to go up again, hasn't it? Is that the final tier, or will there be another one? I feel like there'll be another one. Interesting. What the fuck have I just done there? Oh my god. Sorry, everybody. What the hell? Oh my god. What have I done? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What have I done? There we go. And it's live. We are, well, I don't even know how long we're in at the moment. 21 seconds. Let's hold it on 30 and release. There we go. We're going, we're going, we're going. There's another tier on top of that, says Bullet. Yeah. Be massive when they do that. When does that get done then? Oh dear. It never gets easy, does it? I am doing the 8 p.m. games, yes, Muggy. December 2026 full capacity. Roof will be done in 2027. Oh, God, not long then. Few people are saying they fancy Newcastle to win this. They've got an early free kick. First 10 minutes is going to be very interesting just to see how Newcastle settle. Here's Tonali. Oh, look at him gliding with the ball. What a ball into Harvey Barnes. Takes his man on, puts a little cross into the back post. Let it go for a corner. Yeah, corner. Good start from Newcastle. Detroit Simon says, hope you're doing well. Yeah, thank you everybody who's tuning in. Please do share the video. Sorry, I've just had to block a couple of comments. Bit weird. What's your holiday plans? Yeah, I've done that from James. Trippier here. Little dinky cross. Byron gets the shot off straight at the keeper. Good start by Newcastle. I am doing Liverpool tonight. Yes, Scotty. Some people feel that Galatasaray will win that. I really think Liverpool will find a way. Right, Barcelona. Barcelona have got to step this up. It makes no sense that Real Madrid beat Man City 4-1 and then Newcastle push Barcelona, because Barcelona are better than Real Madrid. A few people in the chat saying Galatasaray are going to do it. They're an energetic team. James says, moderators start working, please. Charlie says Atalanta are going to come back. Yeah, they've got a great chance, Charlie. I think that nobody should ever think that 6-1 is unsurmountable, especially when you've got to go to Munich as well. Spurs 5-2 down. At least they're at home. Galatasaray 1-0 up. This game's 1-1. Oh, God. Tired. I've been in a meeting today for 4 hours. Oh, My God. 11:30 till 3:10. It's been hot in the UK today as well. Barcelona on the attack. And that's a corner. This meningitis outbreak in the UK is a bit concerning, isn't it? Stay safe, everybody. Go Birds says, triple watch along on Sunday. Why? What's happening? Don't forget, a week tomorrow, we are doing the World Cup qualifiers. That's going to be an incredible night because they're all kicking off at the same time. Mango says, Newcastle are going to upset Barcelona. I'm calling it. They've started off well this first 5 minutes. But here we go. Barcelona on the attack. Nice ball. Cuts it back to Rafinha. Goal. That's all it took. That's all it took. You in the chat, whoever it was, Mango number 5, you've just jinxed Newcastle. It's 1-0 Barca. First attack. And Barcelona lead 1-0. It's a shame. It's a shame. You need a little bit of luck. You do need a little bit of luck when you come into the Barcelona ground. And I think there was a slip in the build-up by Byrne. Yamal did well. Yeah, Tau slipped. Yes, Tau slipped. And then watch this. Another slip. Lewis Hall slip. Two slips. Why do players slip so much in the modern game? Do they wear stupid boots? Yeah, Lewis Hall was out of position because he slipped, and Tau was out of position because he slipped. Newcastle just got to keep believing here. 1-0 down after 6 minutes. They had the better start, and it was Barca on the break. Shocking defending, says Mr. Al-Shamari. Custard creams or hobnobs? Hobnobs. Hobnobs. G says, do you have a YouTube as a full-time job? Do you have YouTube as your full-time job? Oh my God, Lewandowski's in again. Yeah, I've been full-time. YouTube's not my job. We're on YouTube, but YouTube's not my job. We do a lot of other things as well. X, Facebook, Instagram, cutting gardens. You know, United Stands are very, and that's football, we're a very diverse business. It's not just YouTube. Real Archie says, I want Newcastle to win for Ramsdale. He deserves it. Oh, that's nice. My daughter's just messaged me and said, can I print something else out for my GCSE work? And I said, well, you could, because the printer's down there, but I am live streaming and I don't know how you get in the room without being seen. So that'll be the end of that. We are doing a watch along for the Liverpool game. Yeah, thanks everyone who's tuning in. So an early goal to Barcelona here. Not a great start for Newcastle, really. They did start off confidently, but you just don't want to concede. And as I said, a couple of slips, and they're down. Right, says football's more important than GCSE homework anyway. Yeah. Would you rather have a Nana or Stevie Wonder in goal? Come on, let's get serious. A Nana ain't that bad. I mean, I'd rather have myself. Right, let's get this bloody printer out. She's come up with a great idea. Can you just pass me the printer out and I'll print it in another room? I thought, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Well, I could go arse over tit in a minute. Ooh. Newcastle free kick. Tonali headed away. I'll tell you what I would say about this game. It's a very, very high tempo to it. Which is what you're going to... Barcelona are normally a good team to watch because of their high line. And Newcastle are clearly going to give it a go. Referee's letting it flow as well. I really want to play Barca this season, says AFC Iron. Well, the way things are going at the moment, it's a very distinct possibility, isn't it? Tesco's finest there with Anana or Stevie Wonder in goal. Will you do a birthday live stream, says Two Silence? Well, considering Christmas Day is the only day I tend to take a full day off, and I'm not Jesus, so it's not my birthday, I normally do stream on my day, yeah. M&S tiramisu hot cross buns are elite, says Lee Berman. The things they do. I'm literally Googling them now. M&S tiramisu. I don't like tiramisu. I like chocolate hot cross buns. The thing about Easter is, though, it's very sweet. Good tackle by Lewis Hall. Wins the foul. I bought Seb one of those randoms Easter eggs last year, and they've got them in Sainsbury's again this year. They're bloody expensive. I'm not buying it this year. You get a little tiny bag of randoms, and the Easter egg's not that great. Yamal looks locked in here, says AFC Iron. Yeah, well, they're a different beast at home, aren't they? I'd say it might be an interesting game, Barcelona-Arsenal, because Barcelona want to play football. I've never liked tiramisu. No, I don't mind a coffee every now and again, but yeah, tiramisu. I have got a sweet tooth, but I do not like tiramisu. Well played, Joel Linton. They're going to have to go up a level here, Newcastle. They've started off quite well, but they're going to have to go up another gear. Is it true you're going to be 60 this year, says Mitish? I mean, do I need to answer that? Yeah, I agree with Silver Moment. Chocolate is full of palm oil this year. There's a lovely cross. If Elanga doesn't score this, he's crap. He scored it! 1-1. The flag stays down. Oh my God. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Newcastle have got a goal. Way man. Way man. Brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. Game on. We've got a cracker here. We've got a cracker here. Newcastle have started off really well. I think they're good for 1-1 as well. I do. I really, really do. It's lovely play by Lewis Hall again. Oh, could it be a Lewis Hall assist? It is. It's Lewis Hall again, isn't it? What a player. He does. He makes Luke Shaw look like a bag of cement. Like, he actually goes past the halfway line, whereas Luke Shaw operates like a guy on tag. Like, if he goes past the halfway line, he's going to get taken back to prison. What a player. What a good finish by Elanga. What a start to this game. Loving it. Loving it. We want to see good football. Do you want Newcastle to beat Barcelona? It's an underdog story. I mean, look, I like Barcelona. I like Newcastle. I like Eddie Howe. I like the way that they play football, both of them. To me, it's just, I don't really mind who wins. I think it'd be amazing for Newcastle to do it, and they are more the underdog. Whereas, you know, Barcelona, obviously, you don't want them getting knocked out of the tournament. But it's a proper European tie, says 001. It's brilliant. Make sure you share the video and get involved. But yeah, we just got a great game here. We've got a really good game. Which is why I didn't mind starting at 5:45 tonight. It's a bit of a weird time to do a watch along, but good play by Yamal. He finally does get away from Lewis Hall. Joel Linton's going to get booked. A little bit of a silly foul by Joel Linton. I'm not sure he needed to do that there. He's shaking his head, but that's always a yellow card. You can't pull somebody down. Could be a cheap yellow card, that. I don't know, 70 minutes with Joel Linton on a yellow card, that would worry me. What do you got for dinner, says Nitish? I had fajitas tonight. Very nice. If Newcastle win, they will win the lot, says James. Imagine that, Newcastle winning the Champions League. Not likely. 2-1. Shocking defending by... I'm stunned. I'm actually stunned that Newcastle have conceded a goal that quickly from like a goal like that. I mean, that really does surprise me. I've got to say, it's such a crappy goal for a Premier League club. It's not the sort of goal you'd expect Barcelona to score against the Premier League club. A dinked up ball to the back post where they're unopposed and then heads it across the 6-yard box for a tap-in. I mean, you would not expect a Premier League side to concede a goal like this. Especially Newcastle, who are so good in the air. It's a crap goal. I mean, it's a good goal for Barcelona, but it's a crap goal to concede. And Dan Burns furious. He's like, who's marking who? It really is a shit goal to concede from Newcastle, that. You would not expect that. You'd be fuming about it. This is football, though. 2-1. Jamie wants to give me 3 personal training sessions. I think I'm all right, mate. I'm fit enough. If Newcastle were... Mark, do you think Yamal is as good as the hype, says FIFA Gangster? I think the hype sometimes goes too high with Yamal. But, yeah, he is a fantastic player. There's a bloody little fly in this room. It's only been hot for 1 day this year, you cheeky little shit. 18 is Yamal. Be 19 in July. Feels like he's been around for years, doesn't it? Sainsbury's lemon and white chocolate hot cross buns are lovely. They taste like pancake day. Really nice. Elizabeth. I might have a look at them. I might have a look at them. Cracking game so far, says Mr. Al-Shamari. Yeah. Newcastle will be very disappointed, though, because Barcelona are a fantastic attacking side, but they could have stopped both goals. They're just poor. And it's a corner here. And Newcastle a little bit under pressure. No, goal kick. Is he giving a corner? No, he's giving a corner. Can we give Shaw to Newcastle in the Tonali deal, says Mrs. Stone. Well, they're making a substitution here. Barcelona. Araujo is coming on. Oh, God, this printer's causing me problems. What colour? No. You're not. You two won't know how to do that. I mean, I'll give it out, but I don't think you'll be able to change it without me. That's not me being sexist, by the way. I just don't back them to be able to change the printer ink. I haven't got any. Oh my God! How the hell? That is mad. Are you having a laugh? How much printing has she bloody done? I've got all that ink, and guess what? None of them is black ink. Pink, yellow. Is that yellow? It must be yellow. It's got yellow on it. Blue. Yellow, pink, blue. How can I have 3 blue? Can't you just print it off in blue? Or pink? You know what? Welcome to my life, and probably every other life out there. You know when you're doing something and you've had all day where someone could have said, can you help me do this? But you know, when you're actually doing something and people start asking you questions that only you can solve. It's great. I bloody love it. I'm only sat here watching a bloody game of football, doing my job. Oh, God. Have we got any ink? Have we got any ink? Fishel says, the garbage Premier League season has killed World Cup hype for me. Mark, so you think Newcastle would have fared better with Bruno G in the team? I think the missing is quality and leadership in the centre of midfield. I think Newcastle have done very well. I think it's been a very equal game. I just think Newcastle have made a couple of mistakes and Barcelona have been clinical. Newcastle's goal was very good. You just can't make these types of mistakes against Barcelona, you know? You just can't. Shouldn't we want Barcelona to win so Tonali has more reason to leave for United, says Hand of Thrawn. This garbage Premier League season has killed the World Cup hype for me, says Vishesh. Let's go Galatasaray. I've got $50 on them, says Mrs. Stone. It's not impossible. Grunt says you need a new nickname. Do you prefer Mark the Shark or Mark the Aardvark? Choose wisely, as this will be your name now forever. I don't need a bloody nickname. Got another injury here. Why did they bring on Arahu? Nick says United fans thinking Tonali would join them is hilarious. Yeah, yeah. We'll see who's laughing. We'll see who's laughing in late August. Alain says Galatasaray definitely getting cooked. Let's get physical. RK say brother just lost his $50. Yeah, we will be live for that. Bob the Cat says, do you want to bet on Tonali? I don't bet on transfers. I'll bet on two dogs having a race. And I'll bet on donkey racing. But I won't bet on transfers. Who would you pick as a replacement for Bruno when he retires, as Mrs. Stone? I mean, I'd like to find somebody up and coming on the continent. Not someone who's incontinent. That would be horrific. But I think Cole Palmer's a good shout. Chelsea are in trouble. Chelsea are in big trouble. The fans are fed up. Rivals are looking at it going, what a mess. Players are looking to leave. Trippier's down here. Wacko says, I'm in love with a girl who is also my cousin. Well, if it ain't legal, mate, you're going to prison. Cecil says, shut up about Tonali, he's our player. I respect Newcastle, but he won't be a Newcastle player next year, I don't think. A great comment here from Luke. He says, it's hard to believe that Rafinha was at Leeds. Give me players that were at clubs and went to massive clubs and you didn't, you know, the glow-up is incredible. I mean, he was decent at Leeds, but I don't think we thought Rafinha was going to go to Barcelona and become one of the best attacking players in world football. Newcastle on the attack. Harvey Barnes! Goal again! 2-2! Oh, wow! Lewis Hall again! He's done it again! Sign up, Lewis Hall! Sign up, Lewis Hall! I think it is Lewis Hall with the... What a game. What a game. We've had 4 goals in 27 minutes. Lewis Hall starts it off. Gets it into Harvey Barnes. Oh no, it wasn't Lewis Hall with the assist. I think it was Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes with the assist. He had a pre-assist. And Alanga won't score an easier goal in Champions League football. What a game. This is a classic. This is an absolute Premier League Champions League classic. You don't get this in the Prem. Share the video. Got 10,000 watching. 4-goal thriller here. Oh, there's a Barcelona player down, clutching his face. They're going to have to play on. Gordon puts it wide. Alanga, 2 goals in Champions League football. That's not a bloody... Is he trying to get him sent off there, do you think? Because he's on a yellow card? I mean, there's nothing about that that's a foul. I like Pedri, but I really hope that that's not simulation, because there's nothing in that. Yeah, mate. If you can't beat a team 11 against 11 at the Nou Camp, I'm sorry. Stop trying to get people sent off. That's poor. That's poor. That is. Don't be like that. Lewis Hall's playing like Roberto Carlos as Doctor Strange. Carlos. Sohab said that should have been a second yellow card. Mate, take off your bloody Barcelona beer goggles and get in the real world. Wasn't even a bloody foul. Careful, we will have some Barcelona lovers. I'm thinking Darren from Norwich, who's never even left Norfolk. Steve from Stoke, who thinks Spain's in South America. Yeah, these Barcelona, I love Barcelona fans who haven't got a bloody clue where it is. You know this hypes. IT. It's you know, you're at work and old Darren from IT on non-uniform day turns up in a Barca shirt, never talks about football, knows nothing about it, but picks Barcelona because he's ran it through ChatGPT. What's the most hip club I can support? I don't want to fall out with Barcelona fans because I do like Barcelona. I'm just saying there are a lot of UK Barcelona fans who pick them and they know fuck all about football. They just pick them because it's well, Barcelona. How highly do you rank Yamal? Says FIFA Gangster. About that high. Yeah. About that high. Says the United fan. Yeah, I started supporting United. Alanga's onside. That's offside. And he's missed anyway. Yeah, when I started supporting United, we were shit. The great thing about being old is United only started being good in the 90s, and I was born in the 70s. Get Rashi on, he'll score, says Mrs. Stone. And Barca's always played with these Gestapo tactics as one and only. I'm a Barca fan. I hate crap simulation like that, says Mozza. There we go. You get my applause. Learned at the Maguire School of Falling, says Karam. To be fair to Lewandowski, that would not have hurt. Archie with the funniest chat of the day. Watching a great game of football, right? It's not even a super chat. It's just a general chat from Archie. Mark, can you name one player from every Premier League club that you would bring to Man United now? Yeah, I'm going to stop watching this game. I'm going to get a pen and paper. I'm going to analyse Burnley. And yeah, I'd love to spend my time doing that. The answer is a short, sharp no. Charlie says Newcastle are hanging on here. I don't think they're hanging on with 3 shots on target to Barca's 2, 45% possession. I don't think they're hanging on at all. I think it's a very equal game. I think 2-2 is a fair score. The question's going to be, how long can Newcastle keep it going? Oh, Lewis Hall's in again. Lovely feet. Into Alanga. Cut it back. That's a foul. Yellow card. You've got to book him. How does he not get booked? I mean, Joel Linton literally did the same. Oh, it works out. It's like that, is it? It's like that, is it? Okay. Okay. That's how it works, is it? Yeah. Literally book Joel Linton for the same thing, but you don't book them. Pedri and Javi overhyped twins, says Mrs. Stone. Mood Goldbridge, says Ashy. Harvey Barnes, it's a decent cross. Keeper did well. Good play by Tonali. Thanks everybody who's tuning in. We've got over 12,000 watching on an early game as well. It's only just gone past 6 o'clock in the UK. Does Lewis Hall get into the World Cup squad, says Mrs. Stone? Well, considering that he's thinking of picking Luke Shaw, Tuchel must be thick as shit if he doesn't pick Lewis Hall. I think he's one of the best left-backs in Europe, let alone England. But look, it's only 2-2. Newcastle need to get in front here. Then it gets interesting. It's flown by, though, isn't it? This is what happens when you watch good flowing football. It flows by. Alanga's in here. If he can cross it first time. Oh! Why didn't Harvey Barnes fancy the tackle there? I tell you what, Newcastle on the break are deadly. Such a good flow to this game. Star 607 says, you want the Premier League club to win. Barca wipe the floor with the Premier League. Definitely not biased. I don't know whether you listen. I've literally said about 4 times, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see a good game of football, and we're seeing that. If Newcastle were to win, though, that would be... It's nothing to do with the Premier League. It would be a huge result. Why is that not a penalty, then? That's a penalty. That is absolutely shocking. I think that's... Well, I want to run a poll on that, because I just don't know how it can't be a penalty. It's a foul in the box. I mean, people are saying it's soft, but he fouls him. Alanga gets ahead of him, and he trips him up. If that was at the other end, it's a stonewall penalty. Look, we've had 2 decisions in the last 5 minutes that I think are massively biased. Like, Joel Linton got booked. And he didn't book the Barcelona player for a similar foul. And I think that's a penalty at the other end. I think it would have got given. Joker says, come on Newcastle, hate this Barcelona side. How new do you think the Castle actually is, Mark? Says, okay, Gail, okay. It's probably one of the worst comments I've ever read in 10 years. But there we go. Oh, it could be 3-2. It should be 3-2. What a block by Dan Burn. Brilliant defending. Absolutely brilliant defending. Lewandowski's favourite to score there. They've got a 2v1. He lays it off to Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world, and you think that's it, 3-2. I don't know what Thiau's doing there as well, but this is brilliant from Dan Burn. Look at that. Absolutely incredible block. Those sort of blocks should be sponsored by Lego. I mean, those sort of blocks make you believe. Joel Linton did exactly the same to Yamal and got booked, says Mark Ash. Yep. That's good to see as well. I mean, Aaron Ramsdale hardly even got touched by the Barcelona player and the referee gave a foul. Wish they'd do that in the Prem. Please do subscribe if you're watching, by the way. We are trying to get up to 1.5 million subscribers before the end of the season. So get involved and subscribe. Look, I tell you what, when you think about what Newcastle have done, second leg against Barcelona in Barcelona, Man City and Chelsea both had second legs against PSG and Real Madrid. So Newcastle have done a very good job. Barcelona, decent side as well. Nearly at half time. Burn too hot, says Mrs. Stone. Are you doing the Carabao Cup final? Yes. Yes. Yeah, we are. Sunday. There's a lot of space here for Lewandowski. It's a lovely shot. Well, it's not. It's straight at the keeper. I thought he'd moved it. Thought he'd got a bit of movement on it. I was wrong. I was wrong. Take the time to make some sense of what you want to say. Barca pushing here. Tonali gets the ball. I'm surprised he didn't give a free kick. Oh, lovely feet by Tonali. The thing is, I don't know whether Barcelona have got any money. I don't even know if they need a player like that, but Tonali would be very good. Oh, Lewis Hall's in again. Takes a touch. And falls over. Can these two play every week, says A to win. Oh, massive credit to both teams. Barcelona have been really good. Newcastle have been fantastic. It's been a great game to watch. Joker says, Scouse, but I'm not biased. Best football YouTube channel. Thank you, pal. Rib says, Tonali's not having a great game so far. Yeah, he's a great player, though. Cut back, Barca. Oh, it's Dan Burn again. It's Lewis Hall again. Ramsdale, he needs to come and get that. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, now it's Harvey Barnes. And I think he's got to book him. Well, at last. He's booked a Barcelona player. Sherwin says, can you give us an update on your Baller League? Yeah, we lost the first game. Our second game is on Monday, and we are the half-10 game. So we're in the graveyard shift. But I'm hoping that, you know, a later kickoff time gives us more time as a team. Yamal not happy there. Are you worried you're going to get the sack, Mark, says Randy? Well, I can only sack myself. But trust me, if we keep losing, I will walk. I will sack myself. What a great half of football, says Scar. Look, I did an Instagram post on the Gold Devils account. You know, I've made my statement. But Tonali's got a bit of an injury here. Tonight, we are young. Gonna set the world on fire. Three minutes added on. This is what football should be. This is what we have on a Friday night with the Bundesliga. Like, the halves go so quick because the game flows so quick. This is an identity crisis for the Premier League because this half has flown by. We've had 4 goals. It's been a pleasure to watch. And, you know, whoever comes through this tie deserves huge credit. Joel Linton has to let Yamal go. Here we are, Rafinha. What a save. Oh, he's missed it. Yamal's missed it. Inside the 6-yard box, Rafinha hits the shot. Ramsdale spills it. And Yamal thinks he's playing rugby. I tell you what, forget Yamal. Your mum would have scored that. If it looks as bad as it does on the replay, your mum would score a goal. And your dog. Your cat. Your hamster. Oh my God. It's easy. It is easy. I mean, he's literally walking onto the ball. I don't know how you missed that. Damn. It's harder to hit it over the bar from there. Let off for Newcastle. That should have been 3-2. Look, we can all do it. We can all do it. Just shows you the enormity of the job that Newcastle have here. They've played fantastically well and they should be 3-2 down. And I think that's a testament just to how good Barcelona are. Adam says, is it too early to assess Carrick since he's come in? He's top of the league for form, above Arsenal with a game less played. Love you, mate. It's not the United stand, mate. I don't think anyone really wants to spend time talking about Michael Carrick, but I mean, I think he is the favourite to get the job. Mark, I feel like the Prem would be more competitive if the Brightons and the Bournemouths were able to keep their players instead of selling them off, says Cian. Do you think Thomas Tuchel will keep Pickford in goal? I think Ramsdale is better, says Jadin. Oh, yeah, you're not going to change your goalkeeper before the World Cup. If Newcastle manage to win this, Dan Burn will have highlight reels on YouTube like Gerrard does for Istanbul, says Spot On. Rafinha's trying to get a penalty. It is like watching Man City. You can't give that and then not give the Elanga one. Be a red card as well. That's game over as well, if they give that. Oh, I think that is a penalty. I think that is a penalty. He's gone. Red card. What a twat. Just cost Newcastle the game. What an absolute prat. You got to feel sorry for Newcastle. That is a blatant red. There's no attempt to win. It's a blatant penalty. There's no attempt to win the ball. And it's a red card. He's just fucking ruined the game. Feels so bad for Newcastle. And he's ruined the game for us as well. We're having a great time. Just let him score the goal, 3-2. I don't know whether Rafinha's going to get there, though. He's going to send him off. Yellow. That should be a red. Very lucky. He's very, very lucky, that. Should it have been a red, Paul? I think he's saying there was not a goal-scoring opportunity. There was just a foul. I think he's saying. I think what he's trying to say is, and I sort of understand it, to be fair. He's trying to say that Rafinha would not have got there anyway. Mate, he's lucky to be on the pitch. He's very lucky to be on the pitch. Newcastle have still got a chance in the second half. I'm glad it's not a red because it keeps the game interesting in the second half. But definitely a penalty. For me, I would want a red for that. I think he's trying to say that Rafinha wasn't going to score, so it can't be a goal-scoring opportunity. But it is a foul. I think that's the only thing I can understand. But you've got to look at it and go, how can you tell Rafinha wasn't going to get a tap in? Anyway, Yamal to make it 3-2 at half-time. Here he goes. And he scores it. It's 3-2. So Barcelona will lead at half-time. Chat's not totally convinced. 42%. Sorry, 32%. Sorry, 42% are saying it shouldn't have been a red. Well, it wasn't a red, of course. 58% are saying yes. That's not the same as Alanga. It's a clear Stonewall pen. Hey, Peck. I very quickly... I think Ramsdale should have saved that. Well, no, it was a good pen. When you see the replay, it's nothing. It's, you know, the Alanga one I think could have been a penalty. I think the Trippier one 100% is a penalty. Are we at half-time? We are at half-time. Stop the clock. Well, I tell you what, so much to talk about. Where do you start? But what a half of football. We've been privileged here. There might be some people there going, I'm not going to get home from work in time, or I'm not watching a game at this time. I've got to feed the dog or take it out for a walk. Well, those of us who've witnessed this game have probably witnessed the best game in the Champions League this season. 3-2 at half-time, 5 goals. Newcastle, when you look at those stats, probably do deserve to be ahead. But sorry, Barcelona deserve to be ahead. But you'd expect them to have a lot of the ball. You'd expect them to have more shots. I think Newcastle have done really, really well. they've got to try and get the next goal again, because I think if Newcastle get 2 goals ahead, it becomes over. Hi Mark, have you had the Moscow Mule yet? No, Jade. You'll know when I do. I think Trippier fell off a long time ago. Reminds me a bit of Luke Shaw, really. Formerly a good fullback who's just a bit of a liability these days. And I've heard a lot of Newcastle fans say that as well. But what do you rate this game so far, Mark, says Hamza? I think it's been an absolute classic. An absolute classic. It's and I'm very glad that Trippier didn't get sent off, because I think against 10 men away from home, I wouldn't have said I would have switched off, but I think we'd have been talking about our favourite chocolate bars. I think the game would have been over with Barcelona 3-2 up against 10 men. I think it would have been over. So I'm glad that Trippier didn't get sent off. I'd have to see the replay again. I'd give credit to the referee if he has made the right call. The only thing I can think of is he doesn't think Rafinha was going to get there, in which case it can't be a goal-scoring opportunity if the player wasn't going to get there, so therefore he's given a yellow. But if Rafinha was going to get there, it's a goal-scoring opportunity and it would have had to be in a red. So it's just that justification, really, that sort of makes your mind up. And we won't be able to see that justification until we see the replay. What's the first thing you would do if our sun went supernova and then collapsed into a singularity? Who wins the Premier League then, says King 7th. Yeah, you're asking the wrong person there. Jonathan Wallace says dancing for Rafinha's penalty that nearly got saved. Says Jonathan Wallace. And oh my God, Celebrity Style Life says he's not the last defender. I've had a long day. I'm just trying to jump into your world. What are you talking about? Why does the last defender have got anything to do with it? It's depriving a goal scoring opportunity. You don't have to be the last man. It makes no difference whether you're the last man or not. It's depriving a goal scoring opportunity with no attempt to win the ball. If Trippier had slid in to get the ball, he'd never get a red for it. But because he's pulled the player back with no attempt to get the ball, if that's a goal scoring opportunity, it has to go. So that's why it's borderline. It should have been a red, because he makes no attempt to play the ball. His only intention is to stop Rafinha. And I think the only thing that might have saved him is the referees looked at it and said, well, Rafinha wasn't going to get there. It happened with United and Mbeumo, didn't it? At Brentford. Same thing happened and it was wrong. It was wrong. Tonali's too good for Man United, says Kevin. We're just waiting for a look at that replay before we can really talk about it anymore. Do you think Liverpool will win? We're so bad, says Joker. Look, I think if Galatasaray play with intensity and speed, Liverpool might struggle. But I can't imagine Liverpool at Anfield not turning up in what could be a tournament that is basically their only chance of relevancy this season. Diego says that Tonali's been the best player on the pitch. He's a quality player. I think Lewis Hall's been fantastic as well. I think Dan Burn's been fantastic. But this is way out of Newcastle's, I nearly said comfort zone, league, whatever you want to call it. Newcastle shouldn't be going to the Nou Camp and going toe-to-toe with Barcelona. And Barcelona are the best team in Spain. Newcastle are, what, 8th in the Prem? So they're massively playing up here. And, I mean, look, if they keep doing what they're doing, they've got a chance. Liverpool are just turning up here That now they're showing Tudor turning up for Spurs. Man, I wouldn't fucking bother. Have a night off. Have a look around London. Shay Given. All is forgiven. Referee is showing class acts, says MX. Well, they're just working through all the goals now, but I'll tell you what there happens. United knocked out PSG. Newcastle can do this, says Pasta. Thoughts on Howe's number 2 Tyndall always involved, says Rajaf. I think he got booked, didn't he? Do you think Hall is the best fullback right now? I mean, for me, I always default to Mendes and Hakimi as the best fullbacks in world football because I think they're both bloody fantastic. But Lewis Hall has had an incredible season at Newcastle and deserves the plaudits. I don't think he'll be leaving Newcastle. If he was, I'd love Man United to go there because we desperately need a left back, and you know, you can see him ending up at Man City, can't you? Even though they don't need him. Or Arsenal. Would you take Howe as next Man United manager? Energetic style of play, develops youth really well. Good job as always, Mark, says Gopal. Well, it was Roy Keane who said about Eddie Howe. And to be honest with you, I think he's a good coach. I think the only criticism I'd have of Eddie Howe is that whenever you write him off, he'll go and get great results. He's a bit of a streak manager, isn't he? They can have bad results and then they can go and have great results. But you can get at Newcastle as well. I think you can score against Newcastle. They do play quite open. I don't think Rafinha is going to get on that. You know, looking at that, I don't think Rafinha was going to get there, but it's hard to tell. Fair play to the referee for keeping him on the pitch, but it is hard to tell. Not a red, says the KFC. Well, look, should it have been a red for Trippier? 55% said yes. 45% said no. So it was pretty close, to be honest. I think it is borderline. If it had got a red, I don't think anybody would have moaned about it. And I think not getting a red, I think it's one of those where you sort of go, he's been a little bit lucky, but you can see what the referee's sort of doing. So, in essence, I think you could say he's been a little bit lucky. Tonali is sucking what? So far, what people talking about, says Nate. Oh, he's a fantastic player, mate. If you can't see that, you need to go and take up another sport. I wouldn't say he's having an amazing game, but I wouldn't say he's been bad. And also, I think that you can just see the quality. You truly can. What's your thoughts on Morocco being named the champions of the AFCON? I just think it's weird. I said it last night. I don't really get how, if Man United had won the Premier League and then 2 months later, the Premier League said, we've changed our mind, we're giving it to Arsenal because Man United did something. I'd be like, I've already celebrated it. Tough shit. I've already celebrated it. I've for 2 months I've celebrated it. You can't take it away now. And if you were Arsenal, you'd go, but we've already got over not winning it. It's a weird thing to do 2 months later, in my mind. And I don't think it helps anybody. I really don't. Would you take Igor Thiago at United, says OTG? I'm very happy with Sesko. And I think Thiago He's having such a good season that he'd probably be better off at a club that he can play for. You know, start for. So yeah, I think that for me would be the main thing. Wharton or Anderson for midfield, says Rye. It's got to be. Look, I think Wharton's done really well recently, but it's got to be Anderson. I think he's the best. I mean, he's arguably the best midfielder in the Prem, in my mind. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort something out here. It's getting on my tits, to be honest. Shouldn't have to do my own filing. Basically. What the fuck are you doing? Give me 1 second. Oh, capital. Oh, piss off. I hate it when caps lock's on. Come on, can we get on with the second half? Boom, that'll do. Lovely stuff. Done. Ray says, I wouldn't say they're playing up, but they just have both absolutely miserable defences and good attack, and this just doesn't work in the Prem. Oh, Ray, I think that's a bad take. I think that's really bad take. To say that this is not a great game because they've both got bad defences and that it wouldn't work in the Premier League. People in the Premier League play negative, long ball, counter-attacking, set-piece focused, long ball focused shit. Barcelona play a high line. Newcastle play quite well. That makes for a good game with a good flow. You made an appearance on the Brentford big screen. Did you see it? Says William. No. Somebody sent me a screenshot somewhere. Anderson is best in the league. Caicedo plays golf. Says check. We're talking about what's available though. Although watching Caicedo last night, I think he was playing golf, mate, because Chelsea are shit. 8-2 on aggregate. 3-0 at your own ground. All right, Sam. I mean, I hate to tell you, but I don't know how long Caicedo and Enzo are going to stay there. Barcelona has got baddies, says Jamie. Who's been your favourite Barcelona player this season, says Addy. I don't watch La Liga. You know, hands up, admit I don't watch La Liga. So Newcastle doing very well recently without Bruno G, says Rory C. Thank you very much for your super chats. You can do that through the $sign. Thank you very much for that. All caught up on those. Please do make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are live for the Galatasaray-Liverpool game as well. And we're closing in on 464,000 on our road to 1.5 million subscribers. So make sure you get involved with That's Football. Everybody is welcome here, no matter who you support. So Newcastle are behind. They need to keep that tempo going for the second half. Anderson. Oh, I've done that one from chess. It's going to be hard for Newcastle. I mean, we could get extra time here. Oh, I don't want extra time. I've just realised we're going to get extra time in one game, aren't we? I don't want extra time. I'm too tired for extra time. Don't want extra time. We might get extra time. I need to change the number on mine. I fucking hate that. I hate that noise. I hate it. It winds the shit up out of me. I've never changed it in the whole time. Oh, Barcelona are having a little hug before the start of the second half. Come on, ref. Let's go. There we are. We're up and running. We're up and running. Next goal is going to be key here. Please do share the video if you're watching. We had 15k watching when it was kicking off. Thanks for watching. Can I get another sentence with watching in? Ian Smith, Newcastle surprising. I don't think Newcastle are surprising. As I said, they're very streaky. They're a very streaky team. And I think that when they get on form, they're very good. But this is a huge task. It really is. Oh, Tonali with a bad pass. Tonali reminds me of the sort of midfielder who could play for Barcelona, though. He's got that low centre of gravity. I think he's took Trippier off, hasn't he? At half time. It's probably quite a wise move. Because he's crap. And he's very lucky to be on the pitch. I think he has took him off. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, took him off at half time. Very wise move. On a yellow card, up against Rafinha. Very lucky to be on the pitch. Good move by Eddie Howe. Livramento on. Which probably makes them stronger. Have you watched The Shawshank Redemption yet? Says Hey. It was a joke. It was a joke. I've seen Shawshank Redemption, if you've never watched it, or even if you have watched it. Lovely play by Lewis Hall again. Very good Easter film. Yeah, I agree with you, Stone Roses. He says Trippier is like Shaw, good in his day, but not now. Yeah. James says, and this is very weird, but I will read it. James says, why was Bernardo Silva a red card and Trippier was yellow? I mean, there's just no correlation. Trippier stopped a goal with his hand, and Trippier pulled Rafinha back and committed a foul in the box. They're very different scenarios. Roy Evans is in The Shawshank Redemption. You're right. He plays the prison warden. Oh, Barca on the attack. 3v3. Watch the cutback. Good shot. Another save. They're hanging on here. I think if Barcelona get the 2-goal lead, it could be over. What watch-alongs are you doing at the weekend, says King? Well, United are playing Bournemouth on Friday night, so I can't do Hoffenheim-Leipzig, which we've got the rights to on That's Football. So yeah, Man United Bournemouth on that United Standard on Friday night. Saturday lunchtime, Is it Brighton, Liverpool? I feel like Chelsea, Everton at 5:30. Spurs, Forest, massive game on Sunday at 2:30. And the Carabao Cup at 4:30. Then it's the international break, but a week tomorrow we're doing all the World Cup qualifiers. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Tonali looks like a classic Italian Del Piero days. Well, I was talking about Tonali on the United Stand this morning. This desire to go back to Italy, he's got no chance. You're not going back to the Italian league if you're playing in the Premier League and you're doing well, because they just can't afford it. Here he is, Tonali. Look at that. Lovely centre of gravity. Really knows how to drive the ball. He's Pirlo-esque, isn't he? Tonali. He has got that Pirlo vibe. And with that, I think he'll get better with age. Imagine Isak didn't leave this team, says Camels. The way Isak's playing, he might have left football. Have you seen much of Vuskovic, Mark? I've only probably seen him play a couple of games, but even in those 2 games, he's so dominant. Yeah, I understand, Gav, it might be a family reason why he wants to go back to Italy, but what I'm saying is he's got a 3-year contract with Newcastle. It won't be up to him. Oh, what a ball. This could be it. What a goal. People are saying offside. I don't think it was. I think it was a well-timed 1-2. A lot of people saying offside. I don't think it was. Matthew says, such obvious match fixing with not giving the first penalty or the red card. Yeah, but it evened itself out, Matthew, at least. It's Tonali who loses his runner as well. Oh, it's miles on. Miles onside. Miles on. Look, you've got to give Newcastle massive credit, but they are up against a fantastically good side in their own backyard, and I think they've won an amazing amount of games in a row. (4-2). Newcastle looking tired, says Angel. Barcelona will play the winner of Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid. Could it be another 5-2 incoming? Well, that would be the worry, Newcastle now. Because they're getting caught on the break a lot. And they're in again here. Tonali did well. Wins they get a corner though. He looks wild, that fan. Probably should have been a foul on Tonali, to be fair. So poor from Tonali there, says Clark. Barcelona will outscore you, says Ash. Oh, yeah, I mean... Did you see yourself on the big screen at Brentford the other day? No, I didn't. What was I doing on there? Was it because of Baller League? I bet I was getting booed. I mean, that should be a foul on Tonali, really. I don't think the referee can see it, but Tonali gets the ball, and then he does follow through on him. Hopefully he's not injured, because that'd be another big loss for Newcastle. The more I see Lewis Hall and Tonali, the more I think they'd be perfect for United. Is there a genuine chances of getting both? I don't think so, Glory, Glory. Looks like Willock's going to come on for Tonali here. Good luck to Villa tomorrow, says the Indy. Oh, they had a very good result in the first leg, didn't they? So they should be okay. Against Lille at Villa Park. Just looking at the weekend fixtures. Yeah, Brighton play Liverpool at 12:30. Everton play Chelsea at 5:30. Then on Sunday, Newcastle play Sunderland at midday. Villa play West Ham. Tottenham play Forest. And Arsenal play Man City at Wembley at 4:30. Yeah, Tonali's gone off. Willock's come on. Hopefully that's nothing too bad. Oh, they've scored. 5-2. I mean, it's Lewandowski and it's 5-2. I mean, it's fantastic from Barcelona, but you've got to question Newcastle's defence here. You really have. I mean, I don't feel like it's been a 5-2 game, but you've got to give huge credit to Barcelona because that's just what they can do to you. Like, they create so many chances and they'll kill you off. But I'm quite surprised by 2 of the goals that Newcastle have conceded because I would consider them to be quite a good team defensively from set pieces. Can't be offside from a corner. Who's that on the back post? Livramento. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, not the best defending there. Wary of Chelsea this weekend as our home four is rubbish, but Chelsea are also rubbish. Not a clue which way to call it, but hoping Everton get a win, says Paul. Yeah, Chelsea need to start winning, don't they? But yeah, Everton haven't settled into that new ground yet. Embarrassing for the Premier League. Look, I still say the Premier League is the best league in the world because it's the richest, it's the most watched, it's got the best players, but the quality this year is shite. And, you know, the rinsing of it is probably quite fair. But that's what happens when, and I blame the Premier League, you've allowed the league to become ridiculously dictated to by something the rest of Europe doesn't notice, doesn't allow. Like, so much of the Premier League is based on these corners. You can't do it in Europe. Like, you literally can't. You're not allowed to foul the goalkeeper in Europe. So we've you know, it's embarrassing. I thought Leverkusen did well against Arsenal. Galatasaray obviously did well against Liverpool. PSG, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid have battered Premier League clubs. And I think Premier League clubs have become used to this stale, slow, set-piece driven football in the Premier League that now they're playing against teams that play football. It's like they're getting overwhelmed. The more I've done that one, thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We've still got half an hour to go here. I mean, this could get worse for Newcastle. Not better. It can get worse. Martinez or Tau, Rice or Tonali, Semenyo or Diaz? Diaz over Semenyo, Rice over Tonali, and probably Martinez over Tau. I mean, they played together, Wesley, really. Have you seen the points tally for the Chinese Super League? So many teams are in negative points tallies. Could tell us why King 7th, because I haven't looked at the Chinese league in about 10 years. Well, it's still on. It's still on for a Barcelona-Arsenal semi. Barcelona go up against Atletico Madrid. Arsenal go up against Sporting. We've got some cracking ties to come. Obviously, Real Madrid will be playing Bayern in the quarterfinals. But an Arsenal-Barcelona semi-final is possible. And a Bayern-PSG semi-final is possible. So it's because of match fixing in the Chinese league, apparently. Oh, Marion says, hi Mark, Brentford had you and other content creators predicting they would go down. Then a voiceover came on and said, shut up. Yeah, but Man United are third, so I don't care. You know, I also predicted Arsenal would win the league, so Brentford have been fantastic, and you know they're right. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is getting embarrassing. This is getting 6-2 and there's half an hour to go. This is a rout. Well, I've just tweeted this. Emergency. The Premier League is a shit show. This obsession with corners and long throws has fucked us over in Europe where they actually play football. And it's so true. I mean, I tell you what, I'm glad I said Martinez over Tau because that's shite defending. They've conceded 3 goals in 15 minutes. It was 3-2 at half time. Scary. Scary. Anton Decker crying. Here we go. Tonali to United. Thanks, Barcelona, says Mrs. Stone. It's, you know what? I think somebody said it and they were absolutely spot on. Newcastle have tired massively in the second half. They put a lot into the first half, but it just goes to show you can have a go against Barcelona at the Nou Camp, but they're tough. They're tough to beat. Do you think Arsenal will beat Barcelona? Right here, right now, I'd be a little bit worried about Arsenal and Barcelona. And I suppose it's fair to say, will Barcelona beat Atletico Madrid? Well, I'd have to bow down to the La Liga watchers because I don't watch it. I mean, Atletico Madrid, double substitution here for Barcelona. Sorry, for Newcastle. Let's have a look at La Liga. So league table, Barcelona have got 70 points in first. Real Madrid have got 66 points in second. And Atletico Madrid have got 57 points in third. They beat them in the cup, didn't they? Demolition job. Where's Stallone and Snipes? Look, I'd look forward to Arsenal-Barcelona in a semi-final. And I hate to say it, but I'd probably want Barcelona to win. At that stage, I probably would want... I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't want them to win the treble. You know, let's get real here. I do want Arsenal to win the league, but I don't want them to win the treble. And also... Arsenal deserve the relatively easier path to the semi-finals, but they don't deserve an easy path to the final. Can you see Spurs conceding more goals than Chelsea, says one and only. I'll tell you the team news for Spurs tonight, and then we can all make our mind up. So, first of all, Liverpool are lining up with Alisson, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkez, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Mohamed Salah, Wirtz, and Ekitike. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't think Salah and Wirtz on your wing is a good idea. Osman starts for Galatasaray. Spurs have got Vicario, Porro, Romero, Dragusin, Van der Ven, Spence, Simmons, Sarr, Gray, Tell, and Moani. I don't know why. Oh, Barca were in again there. Griezmann, Alvarez start for Atletico Madrid. Of course, Spurs' real cup final was on Sunday. They can't lose to Forest. If they lose to Forest, they're in the bottom three, I would reckon. There'll be another goal for Rashford coming, says Seyor. He is coming on. Cancelo, Lewandowski and Lopez coming off. Oh no, he's not coming on. Olmo, Terez and Xavi. 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 I said Xavi. No, Rashford's not coming on here. I think they do want to keep Rashford. I don't know how much Barcelona. I don't know how much money Barcelona have got, because apparently they never have any money, but they do spend money. All rounder says, and we thought Spurs were bad. It's a bit like Tell you what, this reminds me a little bit of the Gold Devils. You know, I thought we played well up until about half time, and we lost 6-2. And I feel the same about Newcastle. I feel like Newcastle played really well up until half time, and the game's just gone away from them. But it's men against boys, isn't it? You know, Newcastle have given everything they can. But Newcastle, I think out of all the games, we were like, Newcastle will get knocked out. I even thought Spurs, Atletico Madrid might have a chance. PSG, Chelsea, Man City, Real Madrid, I thought they'd have a chance. Newcastle, Barcelona, I thought they had no chance. Barca winning here doesn't have anything to do with the Premier League obsession with long throws and set pieces. Newcastle played football in that first half, says A499. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think everybody else, but I do think the Premier League has a massive problem. Is it possible the Premier League loses the Champions League 5th place, says Rexotic. I don't know what needs to happen for that to happen. There's probably somebody in the chat who does, but I don't actually know what needs to happen for that to happen. Still 20 minutes to go here. Why did I think this game would be done at 7:30? Oh yeah. I know why. I know why. Livramento, Azerti's back. There must be a moment in Yamal's life when he's straightening his hair in the mirror and for a few seconds turns into Curly Watts, says Nick P. Well, there must be plenty of people in the chat who don't know who Curly Watts is. He's only Man City's favourite, most famous fan of the 80s and 90s. We used to have a lad at school who looked like Curly Watts and we used to call him 40. Chances of EPL not getting the 5th spot is 0.01%. Yeah, I think we got enough points in the coefficient league from the group stage because so many people finished in the top 8. Thank you very much, Mrs. Stone, for your super chat. Abraham says the Premier League is the Farmers League. Is this the beginning of the end for the Premier League? Abraham, I think that the Premier League is very arrogant. It's very rich, and I don't know that they will do this, but there should be an emergency meeting, and they should be saying we're getting embarrassed in the Champions League, and why is it happening? And if I was in the room, I'd put my hand up and I'd say, because the PGMOL are shit, and you've allowed the league to be fixated on fouling goalkeepers. There's another one here. 7-2. I think it's Jacob Ramsey this time. I've never seen such bad defending. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, Barcelona are a good side, but they've probably gifted them. I mean, it's 7, so they've probably gifted them 3 or 4. (7-2). Yeah, but going back to what we're saying there about the Premier League, they've got to look at this and they've got to go, we're miles behind. And we're miles behind because our games are too slow. They're too stop-start. They're too based on set pieces. The Premier League's become like the NFL. You know, people actually employ long throw-in specialists. People actually knock one out to their corner specialist. It's too strategic. It's too analytical. And the Premier League is boring. But when you go up against the European clubs, they're not doing this. Barcelona and Real Madrid and PSG and Bayern Munich, they're not spending time on long throw-in specialists and corner specialists. They're playing football. And that's a huge, huge problem. So the first thing the Premier League need to do is bring in the time limits on throw-ins and corners and stop the overcrowding in penalty boxes and start giving fouls for it. I mean, those two things would make a big difference. They'd speed the game up and they'd stop people focusing on, you know, advantages from throw-ins and corners. So they can change it simplistically, but the focus needs to be back on football and getting the game flowing. Premier League's become too stop-start and too much about, you know, trying to find... And everybody plays the same in the Premier League, basically. I think the reason Sunderland and Leeds have done so well this season is because it's not a massive step up this year, because everyone's doing the same thing. It's not a huge step up in quality if you can defend corners and score from corners and long throw-ins. Marlowe says the amount of goals scored against your English teams is baffling. I wonder what will happen when Arsenal come up against real opposition. You know why I think the amount of goals are happening, Marlowe? Because it's not stop-start. It's constant. Like, nobody's sitting back. It's constant probe. It's get on with the game. And they won't be used to it. Premier League clubs won't be used to this constant flow of football and teams trying to play football. They're not used to it. One of the advantages of the Premier League used to be that we were really intense and quick. Remember everyone used to say that? The Premier League's the quickest league in the world. I don't think it is. I don't think it is anymore. How can it be the quickest league in the world when we're stopping every 2 minutes for a foul or a free kick or a long throw-in? Arsenal isn't them. We're not conceding like that, says KS. Yeah, I think Arsenal will defend a lot better than Newcastle have. How far do Arsenal need to go in this competition to save the Premier League reputation? They need to win it, Theatre of Martinelli. They need to win it. Set piece football failing the Prem, says it's a disaster, says Ninja. Sonali, pack your bags. Uber to Carrington is here, says Mrs. Stone. Yunu says it's going to be 10-2 on aggregate. And Antonio says if we swapped our top 6 for, let's say, Barca, Bayern, PSG, Real and Inter, how well would they do in our league over 38 matches? Very well. They'd probably be in the top 5. Bacco says, I think it's to do with results in the Champions League, Mark. What? Nomad says, I can't believe Richards and Sturridge parked the bus in the second half against you. Supposed to be a fun tournament and you need a big lad in front. No, I'm not. I'd rather not. I'd rather not be in the Baller League. And I'd rather lose every week than play 4 at the back and hit a long ball to a big guy. It's like long throw-ins. I'm not doing it. Play the right way and lose is better than playing like that. And I do subscribe to this view from Jamie Church. Take me to church. He says, it's so good to see some real football. The Premier League is awful. But this is why I love watching the Bundesliga on a Friday night. I don't care if it's 2 relegation teams. They play football. The pace is quicker. The flow is quicker. The game is better to watch. So as much as I want the Premier League to be the best league in the world, and I think it has been, it's had its arse handed on a plate in the last 7 days. And it deserves it. Yeah, where's Duncan now? Yeah, Duncan's notable by his absence. Apparently the Premier League's not boring. Apparently the Premier League's not boring, according to Duncan. Imagine if Bruno and Rafinha played together again, says Say. Bruno and Rafinha? When did Bruno and Rafinha play together? Does off says the best league in the world, British delusion. Mate, you do realise Arsenal are the best team in England and they're still in the tournament. I mean, it's not over yet. I didn't know Rafinha played for Sporting. There we go. You'll never walk. I'm joking. The Premier League has become frustrating to watch, says YNWA. Mr. El Shamari says, I told you at the start, Mark, Newcastle defence is awful tonight. 16,000 watching. We are doing Liverpool Galatasaray at 8 o'clock, so in half an hour's time. We've also got a United video going up at 22 for 20 minutes as well, straight after this. Preview of the Bournemouth game and a little bit of an update on Luis Enrique. Oh, another goal, Yamal. Oh, good save by Ramsdale. That could have been 8. Some horrible second halves from English teams, maybe just not as fit due to constant stoppages. Absolutely spot on, Espen. Here's Harvey Barnes. Can he get one back? No, straight at the keeper. How can the Premier League get 5 Champions League spots? Because we did very well in the league stage. Does off. Do you think Martinez and De Ligt are long-term concerns, says Mitesh? They could be. At this rate, this defeat is so bad, UEFA might take England's extra Champions League spot away, says Kay. And the giants of Europe that aren't Premier League benefit from having easy games in their schedule, whilst every game in the Premier League is a slugfest, even if it's against 20th place, says Theatre and Martinelli. You see, I'm glad you said that, because I wondered how long it was going to take for somebody to start talking about schedules or not having a winter break. And that's absolute bollocks, in my opinion. There will be people out there that start saying this is why we need a winter break. In fact, Henry Winter said it. I mean, what a surprise. Henry Winter, the journalist, wants a winter break. I mean, he's got the bloody the clues in the surname. This is not because we don't have a winter break. That's nothing to do with it. Watch the Premier League. It's slow. It's stop-start. It's focused on set pieces. And nobody's playing good football. A winter break isn't going to make them play good football and speed their game up. Like, there is an identity crisis in the Premier League. We've all seen it. So, a winter break wouldn't change the fact that the Premier League is an embarrassment this year with its long throw-ins, its corners, and its stop-start nature. We used to be a really quick, intense league, and now we've become Stoke. You know, I think United would have done well in the Champions League this year as we're a counter-attacking team, which is more cup-suited. We do score set pieces, but not in a messy way, says Vibos. Yeah, well, we're not in the Champions League this year, are we? So, what do you reckon to the new idea of Cadbury cream egg on toast? How do we do that, Jason? How do we do that? 1 Inch Wonder says, are you ready for Shaw, Mount, Maguire and Malacia to take the Champions League by storm? Oh, can't wait. What do you think about Bernal? We were linked to him and there were reports of United going for Spanish midfielders. Andre Gomez, thanks for your super chat. I tell you what I think about Man United being linked to Barcelona players. I don't know why we waste our breath on it, because we never bloody buy one. We've been linked to De Jong over the years, Rafinha over the years, Balde. We've been linked to them all. We never get them. Chesney's come on. Keeper got injured. Chris says, did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, Mark? You must have had a few good ones living in Dublin. Yeah, they were always brilliant living in Dublin, but I didn't celebrate it yesterday on a normal Tuesday in the UK. With United Friday, does Bundesliga take a back seat? Yes, David, unfortunately. Contractually, I'm allowed to do Man United games if it clashes on a Friday. Newcastle have been smashed harder than Bonnie Blue, says Luke. And Theatre of Martinelli says, my point wasn't about the schedule, Mark. It was that playing 20th in the Premier League is 50 times harder than 20th in La Liga. No easy games. Yeah, but I still disagree, because what you're talking about there is still fatigue and the fact that there's more harder games in the Premier League. But, I mean, is it hard to play football the same way week in, week out, where you stop and start for half of the game and you just kick the ball in around the goalkeeper and chuck long throw-ins? I mean, is the Premier League as intense as it used to be? Everybody's playing the same way as well. I mean, I don't subscribe to that excuse. I think the quality of the football in the Premier League is shit, and it's been exposed as shit. 8-3 on aggregate between Barcelona and Newcastle. 8-2 on aggregate between Chelsea and PSG. It's currently, what, 5-2 to Atletico Madrid against Spurs. That could be massive again. Man City got done 4-1. You know, I think there's a stylistic problem. With this match, the game's already played involving Premier League sides, and the tally from the first leg of Spurs and Liverpool matches, the overall tally is Premier League 11, Europe 28. Yeah, so you're averaging over every game is about 3.5-1, isn't it? No. Nearly 3-1. Jeremy says there needs to be a conversation about these EPL teams. That keeper Bayern Leverkusen kept last night was good. As you watch the Bundesliga, is he usually that good, or it was a one-off, says Kieran? Well, I don't think Leverkusen are normally that good, Kieran. I mean, they're about 6th in the Premier League. They've been very iffy. Which Barcelona player would excite in the Prem, says Anshul? Pedri, Imal, Rafinha. Can someone check if Keith from Sky Sports is okay? Says Lee Berman. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. The bias in the chat is over the top. Serie A in the 90s had a ton of boring 0-0 games and it was the best league in Europe, says ex-Gunner. So, your point is... I don't know what the point is there. If a subscriber comes up to you on vacation and wants to talk about football, does it feel like work? How approachable would you consider yourself, says Cal. Within reason, I'm quite approachable. I mean, I wouldn't spend the rest of the holiday with you talking about United's back four, but... IQ Low says, is it too early to say manager out for the Gold Devils? It's not too soon for me to block you. Mate, it was game week 1 and we're a brand new team. On average, it's a game week before a new team wins, so I ain't going to worry on game week 1. Anyway, I'm the chairman, so I've got to sack myself. Do you think Flick play style will do well week in, week out in the Prem? Christian, unless you know a rule better than me, Barcelona won't be playing in the Premier League. And also, it depends who he manages. I mean, if he was managing Everton, no. If he's managing Arsenal, yes. Who would you sign? Pulisic at left wing, Chris Richards from Palace at centre-back, or Anthony Robinson from Fulham at left-back for United, says Joe, USA 96. I would sign Anthony Robinson at left-back. We definitely do need one. $87. People are coming in, obviously having watched the game, and saying 7-2 what? Yes, it is 7-2. Got a player down here. ESC Connor says, will you live stream the Ireland World Cup playoff matches next week? Yes, next Thursday. Everyone go and watch the United preview now, says Jeremy. Oh, it's that time, is it? Yeah, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea, actually, because this game is over. So, by all means, join us at 8 o'clock back here. We've got a little Man United preview. People are just going down injured here. I'm bored. We've got a Man United preview on the United stand and a bit of an update on Luis Enrique and an incredible statement from Michael Carrick about Luke Shaw in England. Check that out. And then we're back here at 8 o'clock. Speak to you all in a bit. Had you there, didn't I? I'm still here. I don't know what they're doing here.